teşekkürler efendim.
Your Majesty Queen Matilde, honorable ministers, ambassadors, distinguished business leaders, it's a great honor and pleasure for us to welcome Your Majesty Queen Matilde to Turkey, to Istanbul, on the occasion of the Belgium Economic Mission. This visit has been taking place after 14 years, after the historic visit by then Crown Prince Philip in the year of 2012 to Turkey on the occasion of the Belgium Economic Mission. We extend our warmest thanks and greetings to the Honorable Majesty and distinguished ministers, ambassadors, and esteemed members of the Turkish and Belgian business community. I congratulate DEIC and the Embassy of Belgium for this successful event. This visit and the delegation is the biggest ever delegation and visit by an international country to Turkey. Therefore, we extend our sincere thanks to Her Majesty Queen Matilde for leading such a historic visit and for leading such a distinguished, strong delegation. We are meeting at a time when the global economy is undergoing profound transformations. Geopolitical tensions, disruptions in global supply chains, and increasing protectionist tendencies have been reshaping international trade and investment patterns. In such an environment, reliable partners, resilient economies are no longer a choice, but a necessity. It is precisely in this context Turkey stands out. With its strategic location at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, Turkey offers direct access to a market of over 1.3 billion consumers. Turkey has transformed into a global production, technology, and logistical powerhouse driven by its young, skilled workforce and robust industrial ecosystem. With a national income of $1.6 trillion, Turkey has become the 16th largest economy globally and one of the fastest growing economies among OECD countries. Building on this robust economic foundation, Turkey is increasingly positioning itself as a central hub for global governance and innovation. This year, Turkey will host the NATO Summit, United Nations COP31st Summit, and International Astronautical Congress in October. Distinguished participants, Her Majesty, our bilateral trade volume has shown a steady upward trend between Turkey and our strong ally, Belgium, by reaching $9.3 billion last year. We are dedicated to achieve $15 billion of bilateral trade volume in a sustainable, balanced manner. Belgian investments in Turkey have reached almost $5 billion, with around 719 Belgian companies, and Turkish investments in Belgium are worth nearly $750 million. Likewise, Turkish companies are expanding their footprint in Belgium across sectors such as logistics, defense, manufacturing, retail, and advanced technologies. I would like to briefly highlight the key strategic areas where we see strong and growing potential in our cooperation. First, Turkey's defense industry, which has evolved into a highly advanced and globally competitive ecosystem. Our defense and aerospace exports have grown by almost 40 times in the last 20 years, from $250 million in the year 2002 to over $10 billion last year. Turkey ranks as the 11th largest exporter of defense products in the world. We see growing Belgian interest for deeper engagement with our defense ecosystem. Secondly, Turkey is a major logistics hub with a $150 billion logistics market and over $50 billion in logistics services exports. With Belgium's advanced logistics position as the hub of all continental Europe for land, maritime, air, and rail transportation, this strong complementarity between our two respective countries creates clear opportunities for warehousing, air cargo, multimodal transportation, and digital logistics for our businesses. Turkey's rapidly expanding transport infrastructure with 58 airports, 247 million passengers per year, and 356 destinations for air flights throughout the world further strengthens this ecosystem. 80 passenger flights and 14 cargo flights per week between Turkey and Belgium boost tourism, trade, and transportation. And last year, more than 600 Belgian tourists visited Turkey. Thirdly, Turkey's industry and ICT sector, information, communication, and technology sector. Turkey has increased its manufacturing value added from $41 billion to $240 billion in these sectors. ICT sector, similarly with a $40 billion market size and 240,000 professionals, is increasingly driving digital transformation with Industry 4.0 applications. Turkey's energy transition focused on diversification, supply security, and clean technologies and renewable energy sources creates significant space for cooperation with Belgian entrepreneurs, particularly in offshore wind, hydrogen technologies. And life sciences sector offers a highly promising area as well. Also, with a pharmaceutical market of $9.2 billion and over 50,000 professionals, Turkey provides a platform for joint research and development, advanced production. Last area is contracting. Turkish contractors have undertaken $335 million of construction projects in Belgium so far, and globally, Turkish contractors have undertaken $560 billion of projects in 138 countries. In this sense, there is great room to improve our economic partnership, not only in our bilateral countries, but also in third markets as well. As governments, our priority is to create a business-friendly environment. Our sound legal framework, including agreements on investment protection and promotion, as well as avoidance of double taxation between Turkey and Belgium, ensures transparency, predictability, and security for investors. At the same time, we are very closely engaged with the European Union to modernize the customs union between Turkey and the EU member countries in line with today's economic realities. We believe Belgium supports this case in the EU. Therefore, we extend our warmest thanks to the Belgian government for their support to modernize customs union between the EU and Turkey. Recent EU trade and industrial policies should remain inclusive, not exclusive, and not undermine the deeply integrated value chains between Turkish enterprises and European enterprises. They have been built over the decades. Bilateral trade between Turkey and the EU has reached $233 billion per year last year. Moreover, nearly 70% of foreign direct investment in Turkey, which totals $290 billion, came from European companies, European industries. With our joint efforts within the EU framework, Turkey will continue to serve as a reliable partner, as a reliable logistical and supply chain. Your Majesty, distinguished guests, we are confident that this historic mission, which is being led by Her Majesty, will translate into very important outcomes: new deals, contracts, agreements, partnerships, and long-term cooperations. Please allow me to express our sincere appreciation and warmest thanks to Her Majesty for personally leading this Belgian economic mission to our country, which clearly reflects the importance our strong ally Belgium attached to its partnership with Turkey. Thank you very much.
Ön taraf. Foto.
Otur. Foto.
We sincerely hope that this joint statement will further contribute to the strengthening of trade and the economic relations between the two countries.